Morality in America today, just who is it that is most concerned? For the last 6 years, Gallup has measured Americans' views of moral values in the country using two different questions. The first says, rate moral values right now. Excellent, good, only fair, or poor. Look at the results. Negative, to be sure. The percent of Americans who are willing to give the moral values of this country an excellent or good rating is only 17%. 44% say they are poor. Over the last 6 years, not much change at all in this measure, a lot of constancy in this trend. On the other hand, we ask, are moral values getting better or getting worse? At the moment, that is as of 2007, 82%, look at that huge number. 82% of Americans say moral values are getting worse. This has changed. In 2002 and 2003, May of each of these years, a slightly smaller percent, down around the 2/3 level, said that moral values were getting worse. Why? We think it may have been still an aftermath of 9/11. Americans were less concerned about morality when the public seemed to be pulling together. Since then, however, things have deteriorated, and now, as mentioned, over 8 out of 10 Americans say moral values are getting worse. Let's dig a little closer into these morality data. Let's look by religion. What we are looking at here is a net value, the percent of Americans who rate moral values in the country as excellent or good minus those who rate moral values as poor. Notice that Americans who identify themselves as Protestants or other Christians significantly more likely to be negative about moral values than Americans who have no religion. Look at the relationship between church attendance and views of morality. Same idea. Americans who frequently go to church, much more negative on the state of morality today than Americans who seldom or never go to church. Finally, let's look at the relationship between politics and views of morality. Republicans, more negative about the state of moral affairs today than Democrats, as you can see in this chart. What we have is the data that underpin one of the most significant things going on in American politics, and that is the correlation between religious Americans' strong allegiance to the Republican Party, and that is based on these religious Americans' concern about morality and the Republican Party's ability to say to these religious Americans, we will do something about your moral concerns on issues like abortion, same-sex marriage, and stem cells. Tomorrow on the Daily Briefing, the results of a brand new weekend poll. I'm Dr. Frank Newport, Editor-in-Chief of the Gallup poll with Democracy on Demand. Take the Daily Briefing with you. Search for Gallup at the iTunes Music Store.